2, because that's the radius of the one sphere. And then we know that, okay, here's the other part of the lens. Here's the center of that circle, or that sphere. We know that distance is 2. So let's find the distance between the two centers. The one center is at the origin, so it's going to be equivalent to finding the distance between the origin and this other center. And so the distance between the centers is equal to the distance of this point from the origin, because the one sphere has the origin as its center. So 4 plus 1 plus 4 is the square root of 9, yeah, which is 3. Okay, so this entire distance is 3, but, okay, so from my 2 fingers is a distance of 3, but then from here to here is a distance of 2. So what does that leave this right here? 1. And the distance between my fingers is 3, so the distance from here to here is 2, so that leaves that as 1. So what has to be the length from this side of the intersection to that side of the intersection? Also has to be 1, okay? So that means that the height has to be a half, okay? Because their radii are the same, that this has to be in the center. If the radii were not the same, that slice would not be in the center, and that's what would make it a little more difficult of a problem. Okay, but again, this distance was 3. We know this was 2, hence making this 1. This distance is 3, this is 2, hence this is 1. Thus, there has to be a distance of 1 between here and here. The height of the lens shape would have to be half of that then, which is a half. And in order to get the curvature right, this formula involves the radius of the sphere. And so I think from here we're basically done, because our volume is going to be 2 of those, so the volume of the intersection is 2 of that formula, so 2 times pi, my height is a half, the radius of each of them is 2, and the height is a half. So each lens, like this lens is the same size and shape as that lens. So if, I'm finding the volume of one of them, but I have 2 that are identical in size. And each sphere has a radius of 2. So let's see, we get 2 pi over 4. 2 minus a sixth is 11 sixths. So 11 pi over 12 is the volume of the intersection. Okay, so again, it was just a little critical thinking problem that, again, forces you to think 3